Hi everyone, Eleanor here from just outside Boston. Where are you watching from today? Picture this. It's the funeral reception for my husband Robert in our backyard garden. The one we planted together 40 years ago. White folding chairs are scattered across the lawn, silver trays of finger sandwiches and iced tea sweating in the late afternoon sun. About 50 mourners mill around, neighbors, cousins, old bridge club friends, all dressed in black, murmuring condolences. I'm 68, standing there in my simple navy dress and pearls, still raw from burying the man I'd loved for 45 years. His heart just gave out one night, sudden as a summer storm. The string quartet finishes a soft hymn, and that's when my son Michael rises from the front row. He's 42, tall like his father, in a crisp charcoal suit that costs more than my monthly pension. He clears his throat, taps his water glass with a spoon. Everyone quiets, turns toward him. "Thank you all for coming," he starts, voice carrying smooth and confident. "Dad was the rock of this family. And now..." He pauses, looks right at me with what I thought was concern. "Mom, I want you to know we're here for you. I'll take care of you myself. You can live in the attic room at our place. It's cozy, fixed up nice." A ripple goes through the crowd. Whispers. My neighbor Helen shoots me a wide-eyed glance. My chest tightens like a vice, but I force a kind smile. The one I've used at 1,000 parent-teacher conferences. "Thank you, Michael," I say softly, stepping forward. "That's sweet of you to offer. But I have everything I need right here." His smile falters just a second, then hardens. He pulls a thick envelope from his jacket, waves it like a flag. "Actually, Mom, you won't after you sign these papers. We brought them special for today just in case. Power of attorney, guardianship forms. For your own good." Jennifer, his wife, nods from her seat, her manicured hand on his arm, eyes gleaming like she's sealing a real estate deal. The garden goes dead silent. Forks clatter on plates. My cousin Betty gasps audibly. Heat floods my face. Not shame but a cold, clear fury I've been nursing for weeks. My hands tremble but not from fear. Everyone's staring, waiting for the poor widow to crumble. Have you ever had your whole world turn upside down in front of 50 people? That's me right then. I reach for the microphone on the band's small stage, my heels steady on the grass. The cord crackles as I pull it close. Michael's eyes narrow. He steps forward like he's going to stop me. "Everyone," I say, my voice ringing out calm and strong. "Before I sign a single thing, let me read something from Robert's will." Out loud. His face drains white as fresh snow. But to understand why he looked like that, and what I did next that changed everything, I need to take you back 3 months, to the day after Robert's heart attack, when the first cracks started showing in my so-called perfect family. After Robert's heart attack took him so suddenly, I was adrift in our big colonial house on the edge of Boston. My name is Eleanor Hayes, 68 years old, a retired high school English teacher who'd spent 30 years shaping young minds with Shakespeare and Steinbeck. Robert and I built this life together. 45 years of marriage, raising 2 kids in these very walls. The house sat on a quiet acre, white clapboard with black shutters, the kind of place that whispered stability. Our nest egg was solid. His real estate developments left us $2.5 million in assets, my pension, joint accounts. I thought we'd coast into golden years, maybe winter in Florida. Michael was our pride, the firstborn at 42. Sales manager for a car dealership. Always flashing that salesman grin. Living in a McMansion 2 towns over with Jennifer and their 2 boys, ages 10 and 12. Jennifer, 40, was all highlights in yoga pants, ran a boutique that barely broke even. They visited every Sunday after church, our tradition. Lisa, my daughter, 38 and childless, lived across the country in Seattle, a graphic designer who called weekly but rarely visited. We were close though, she sensed things I didn't say. Those first weeks blurred into grief. I'd wake at dawn, brew Robert's favorite hazelnut coffee even though he wasn't there. Stare at his empty chair. The house echoed, creaky oak floors, his fishing rod still in the garage. Michael stepped up, bless him. Dropped by with casseroles Jennifer made. Handled the funeral arrangements. "Mom, let me take care of the bills," he'd say, hugging me tight. His cologne was sharp, expensive, cutting through the lavender of my sachets. I leaned on him, grateful. What mother wouldn't? But small things nagged. First Sunday after the burial, I noticed my checkbook on the desk. balanced but with entries in tighter handwriting than mine. Michael had helped while I napped. A charge for $500 to a florist Jennifer's shop? I mentioned it casually. Oh, that was for Dad's flowers, he said smoothly, eyes not quite meeting mine. I let it go. Grief plays tricks, right? 2 weeks later, mail piled up strangely. Property tax notice overdue, but I'd paid it. Called the town hall. Record showed cleared. Then a bank statement missing. Michael admitted taking it to sort things. You're overwhelmed, Mom. Let me handle it. His tone was patient, like talking to a child. Jennifer chimed in over coffee one afternoon, stirring her mug endlessly. Eleanor, this house is too big now. All those stairs. What if you fall? She eyed the grand staircase like it was a hazard. I laughed it off. I've climbed worse in heels teaching night classes. The red flags mounted. One evening I found my jewelry box in the guest room, moved from my dresser. Inside, Grand's pearl necklace askew as if handled. Dust outline showed something lifted, then replaced hastily. Michael's visit the day before. Jennifer admiring my rings. Family heirlooms, she cooed. Paranoia? Maybe. But then the calls started daily. Estate planning time, Mom. Dad would have wanted it. He emailed power of attorney forms, simple, he said. For my protection. You're probably thinking I should have seen it coming. Have you ever ignored your gut because it's family? That's me, sipping tea in the sunroom, watching them pull out of the drive in their gleaming SUV. But the real jolt came a rainy Thursday. I was sorting Robert's desk. His pipe tobacco still scented the air, earthy and comforting, when I found a draft letter unsigned, dated post-heart attack. To whom it may concern, due to Eleanor's declining health. My name, my house listed for guardianship transfer. Handwriting. Michael's, the loop on the Y just like his schoolboy notes. My stomach dropped like I'd missed a stair. Hands shaking, I photocopied it in the basement, heart hammering against my ribs. That night, alone with a glass of sherry, the kind Robert and I shared, I overheard them on speakerphone from the kitchen extension. I'd pretended to sleep. Jennifer's voice tinny. The dementia papers from Dr. Fake It are ready. Signatures tomorrow. Michael chuckled low. Mom's signing power of attorney next week. Then we reverse mortgage the house, cash out. Attic room offer seals the concerned son image. I hung up silent, bile rising. My own flesh and blood. Plotting to declare me incompetent, steal our legacy? The sherry turned sour on my tongue. Part of me wanted to burst in screaming, but wisdom from 30 years grading essays kicked in. Gather proof first. Where are you watching from tonight? Can you imagine hearing that about yourself? The next morning, coffee bitter as regret, I called our bank pretending confusion. The teller hesitated. Mr. Hayes changed beneficiaries last month. Everything to Michael. Robert was dead. Forgery. That's when I knew something was terribly wrong. Not just greed, calculated betrayal. And I was going to uncover every layer before they buried me alive. I started paying closer attention after that phone call, like a detective in one of those old noir films Robert loved. No more playing the grieving widow. They'd see through that soon enough. I kept my routine. Morning walks around the block, pretending to garden while watching their comings and goings through the kitchen window blinds. Michael's SUV parked crooked in the drive one Tuesday. Jennifer inside rifling my mailbox. She waved when she saw me, all perfect teeth, but her eyes darted like a fox in headlights. I waved back, heart pounding, and noted the time. 2:17 p.m. Evidence began with timestamps. First concrete find came that same week. I'd hidden Robert's old key safe under loose floorboard in his study, our emergency stash for wills, deeds, passports. While they visited with grocery bags masking their real hunt, I slipped upstairs. There, tucked behind his tax files from 2022, was a manila envelope postmarked after his death. Inside, bank transfer confirmations. $150,000 from our joint savings to Michael's dealership account, signed with Robert's looping R. Forgery so sloppy under magnification, ink bled like guilt. My hand shook as I snapped photos on my flip phone, the flash too bright in the dim room. Part of me screamed to confront him then, but I zipped it away. Steady, Eleanor, I whispered to the empty air. Proof first. What would you do if your son's signature matched the thief's? I escalated quietly. Next, I drove to our branch bank in Wellesley, dressed in oversized sunglasses and scarf like some spy thriller grandma. The teller, young Maria with the braided ponytail, recognized me from Robert's accounts. "Mrs. Hayes, how can I help?" I feigned confusion over a statement. She pulled records, beneficiary change dated 3 days post-heart attack. Michael's name stamped sole heir. "But Mr. Hayes was in intensive care," I said softly. Her eyes widened. "That's irregular." Irregular? It was criminal. She printed the log under customer service. No questions, bless her. Back home, I cross-checked against Robert's hospital log from his phone calendar. Timelines didn't lie. Michael grew bolder, thinking me oblivious. Friday dinner, they arrived with takeout Chinese, sweet and sour chicken, my supposed favorite, but the sauce congealed like their motives. Jennifer chattered about the boys' soccer, while Michael pushed papers across the oak table. Mom power of attorney. Standard stuff. Sign here, initial there. His pen hovered, gold-nibbed, mocking me. I smiled, sipped my tea, chamomile to steady nerves, and signed a blank practice sheet I'd swapped earlier. "Of course, dear." For peace of mind. Jennifer's relief was palpable. She exhaled like she'd won bingo. But as they left, I checked my email, draft from Michael's work address. Accidentally CC'd me. Pose secured. Dementia eval next week. Reverse mortgage app submitted. My chest tightened that night. Alone in the queen bed that swallowed me whole. Robert's side still smelled faintly of his aftershave, bay rum and leather. I couldn't sleep. Rain pattered the roof like accusatory fingers. Dawn brought resolve. I called Dr. Helen Whitaker next door, retired GP who'd patched our scrapes for decades. Over lemon bars in her sunroom, crisp crust, tart filling mirroring my mood. She reviewed the medical report Jennifer left behind. "Eleanor, this isn't from any legit doctor. Fabricated symptoms, memory loss, confusion. They're building a case to declare you incompetent." Helen's wire rims glinted. Her voice was steel wrapped in kindness. "Call a lawyer. Now." That's when the scope hit like a freight train. Not impulse greed, long game. I pieced night calls. Michael admitting to Jennifer, "Dad's codicil gives me the house if she's unfit." Codicil? Robert never mentioned. I scoured his desk again, found and signed draft in Michael's hand. Post-dated, altering our revocable trust to bypass me entirely. They'd bribed a notary, forged witnesses. Financials worse. Reverse mortgage app listed me as declining. Cash out projected $800,000 to Michael's debts. Vegas trips, boat payments Jennifer Instagrammed. Cousins whispered. Lisa texted from Seattle. "Mom, they're badmouthing you." Dementia? What's going on? Internal war raged. Doubt clawed, was I paranoid? No evidence stacked like bricks. Photos, printouts, audio from my phone recorder app capturing Michael's slip at dinner. Once POA's in, attic life's easy sell to courts. Jennifer laughing. Cozy for her, mansion for us. Played it back in the garage amid Robert's dusty tools, tears hot on cheeks. Betrayal burned deeper than grief. These weren't strangers. Michael nursed at this breast. Jennifer toasted our silver anniversary. How? Greed blinded them to my teacher's patience, the one who graded essays line by line. Helen connected me to Thomas Riley, Robert's estate attorney from the 90s, silver fox and seersucker, office smelling of pipe smoke and old law books. "Eleanor," he boomed over speaker, "they're playing dirty." But Robert was cautious, irrevocable trust from 2015, you sole trustee. Clawback on fraud. He outlined counter. Freeze joint accounts, petition guardianship denial, elder abuse report. Gather more, he advised. Irrefutable. Emboldened, I tailed them. Parked blocks away at their McMansion. Gaudy McDonald's arches of a house. I peered through hedges. Jennifer on phone. Lawyer says dementia papers seal it. Sell grandma's place, pay off cards. Michael loading boxes, my boxes? Grand's china peeked out. Rage boiled, but I filmed license plates, noted times. Back home, utilities bill spiked. Diverted service? Proof of tampering. Antagonists doubled down. Michael called Sunday, voice syrupy. Mom, family meeting Tuesday. Estate stuff. Bring nothing, we handle. Jennifer emailed health checklist. Questions laced with traps. I forwarded to Thomas. By Monday, injunction drafted. My breaking point. Finding my jewelry inventory list in their trash, pulled from dumpster behind dealership, itemized for pawn values. Pearls at $2,500, Robert's watch $15,000. That's when sorrow hardened to steel. No more victim. Where are you watching from? Ever uncovered your family's true face? I sat in Robert's leather chair, folder thickening like armor, and whispered to his photo. We're fighting love. The real nightmare unfolded next. Full betrayal's depth trap snapping shut. But they had no clue I'd turned hunter. Thomas Riley's office felt like a fortress that first full meeting, tucked in a brick building off Beacon Street, walls lined with leather-bound law tomes that smelled of aged paper and justice. He spread my folder across his mahogany desk, photos, bank logs, audio files like a general plotting battle. Eleanor, they've gone full predatory, he said, adjusting his half-moons. Reverse mortgage filed under forged POA prelims, $800,000 payout to Michael's dealership shell. Dementia cert's a sham. I'll subpoena the doctor. Likely some notary with a rubber stamp. His pen scratched notes. Elder financial abuse, fraud, attempted guardianship. We froze their access that afternoon, joint accounts locked, house title clouded with lease pendants notice. They'll squirm, Thomas grinned. And clawback provisions in the 15 trust? They'll owe penalties, triple damages if convicted. My first move hit surgical. I called Michael's bank myself, voice frail as spun glass. Dear, this is Eleanor Hayes. My son handles things, but Robert's trust needs verification. Teller patched the manager. I dropped Thomas's name, faxed injunction. By evening, Michael's dealership line rang silent. Overdraft alerts pinging his phone non-stop. Jennifer texted me at 8 p.m. Mom? Can't reach the bank. Weird glitch. I replied sweetly. Tech issues, dear. Try tomorrow. Inside, triumph flickered like Robert's Zippo lighter in the drawer. Allies multiplied. Dr. Helen Whitaker, bless her, typed a sworn affidavit debunking the dementia hoax. Her signature carried weight from 30 years practicing. Eleanor's sharp as my scalpels, she wrote. Next-door neighbor Betty, bridge partner who'd eyed Jennifer's nosiness, recalled seeing them sneak in during my grief walks. Took photos of rooms, measured doorways. Creepy. Her statement notarized, added to the pile. Lisa flew in from Seattle unannounced. My estranged angel, sensing via cousin gossip. Over pot roast in the kitchen, steam rising like secrets, she hugged me fierce. Mom, I hacked their shared cloud emails plotting Mom's breakdown timeline. Forwarded everything. Goldmine Jennifer to Michael. Gaslight the jewelry confusion first. Assisted living tour next week. Seal incapacity. I executed flawlessly, playing possum. Tuesday family meeting at their McMansion. Gaudy fountain out front splashing irony. They buzzed me in, Jennifer in silk blouse, Michael tie loosened like victory lap. Mom, perfect timing, he said, ushering to leather sectional. Papers everywhere. Guardianship petition. Reverse mortgage docs pre-signed Eleanor Hayes in wobbly script. Just initial, Mom. Protects you. Jennifer poured Chardonnay. Her hands steady but eyes hungry. I sipped, feigned squint. Struggling with print, dears. Read aloud. Michael cleared throat, salesman pitch. This grants U.S. control, house safe from mismanagement. Dementia eval Thursday seals it. Heart hammering, I nodded vague, phone recording in purse. Sounds prudent. But first my bank froze, odd. Michael's jaw ticked. I'll fix. Sign here. As pen touched paper, my burner phone buzzed, Thomas's cue. I fumbled. Spilling wine on docs. Chaos. Jennifer shrieking, Michael blotting furious. Clumsy today, I murmured. Tomorrow better. Escaped with hugs, their frustration thick as fog. Power shifted palpably. Friday utilities cut, my electric gas diverted to their account, thinking panic. Instead, I paid direct at City Hall, filed tampering report. Police log noted. Suspected elder abuse via service interference. Thomas amended suit. Michael called raging Sunday. Mom, what's with the bank block? Payday bounced. Voice cracked. Desperation cracking facade. Worried for you, son, I soothed. Estate glitches. Jennifer background hiss. Tell her the attic's ready. Near misses thrilled like bad novels. Once, tailing their dealership drop-off, I parked wrong. Jennifer spotted my Corolla, waved frantic. Pulled over casual. Lost, dear. She blanched. Mom? What are you doing here? Errands, I smiled. Heart raced home but unscathed. Another. Lisa intercepted their trash. Shredded mortgage apps, my SSN circled. Reconstructed via tape, Exhibit Z. Antagonists unraveled. Michael's calls turned wheedling. Mom, sign Monday or Adult Protective Services visits. Jennifer voicemails weepy. We love you. Just help. Thomas countered. Bought their max credit lines via collection agency. Now I held $200,000 leverage. Dealership lien filed. Boat repossessed mid-lake. Ironic poetry. Their greed yacht sinking. Helen hosted tea with witnesses, cousins, bridge ladies. Eleanor's fine, they chorused. Recorded, sworn. Thomas prepped funeral trap. Will copies printed, police warrants for fraud pending arrest post-reveal. I rehearsed Mike's speech nights, mirror reflection hardening from widow to warrior. Robert's photo watched approving. They sensed cracks. Michael stormed unannounced Wednesday, face thunder. Accounts frozen? House lean. What did you do? Jennifer hovered, wringing hands. I sat serene, tea steaming. Protecting assets, son. Like Dad taught. He loomed. Sign or court declares you unfit. I met eyes steady. Try me. They stormed out, tires squealing, desperation cresting. Power fully mine. Folder bulged. 50 pages evidence. 12 audio files, 20 photos, 6 affidavits. Thomas. Ironclad. Funeral's your stage. What would you do with traitors cornered? Ironic reversal. Their attic generosity baited public hook. They dug grave thinking mercy. I filled it with truth. Where are you watching from? Ever flipped script on betrayers? Their growing panic fueled me. Final maneuvers locked. But the confrontation they never saw coming brewed hot as summer asphalt. The days blurred into funeral prep. My hands steady folding programs while my mind sharpened like a blade on whetstone. Thomas finalized the trap. Emergency injunctions filed, accounts ironclad frozen, elder abuse charges queued for post-reception service. Police Captain Ruiz, Helen's golf buddy, promised discreet patrol. 2 officers in plain clothes among the oaks. I printed 50 copies of Robert's true will, the irrevocable trust highlighting clawback penalties, stamped with notary seals. Rehearsed my speech in the empty living room, voice echoing off crown molding. Calm, measured, devastating. Lisa arrived early, hugging fierce in the foyer. Mom, you're a lioness. Her laptop held the cloud dumps. Emails chaining Michael and Jennifer to every forgery. We hid backups in Robert's safe, floorboard secure. Their desperation peaked pre-funeral. Michael called twice daily, voice frayed like old rope. Mom, utilities back on? Bank glitch fixed. Jennifer texted sob stories. Boys ask about grandma's house. Sign soon. I replied vague, nurturing false hope. Tuesday they dropped by uninvited. Michael reeking of bourbon despite noon, Jennifer's eyes puffy, mascara smudged. Family prayer, he insisted, kneeling awkwardly in the den. I joined, palms clasped, recording discreet in pocket. His whisper during amen. Thursday, Mom. Papers or APS hauls you out. Jennifer squeezed my knee, warning or plea. For your safety. I smiled serene. God provides. They left fuming, oblivious to the net tightening. Power inversion thrilled cold through veins. I'd bought their dealership note via Thomas's contact. $300K debt now mine to call. Boat lien served mid-party planning. Photos arrived of Michael's yacht towed from marina. Jennifer middeck in bikini stunned. Cousins rallied. Betty baked pies for reception. Swearing affidavits on their concern visits turning Snoopy. Helen coached breathing. In for strength, out for clarity. Lisa mocked up a slideshow. Forged docs side-by-side originals, timestamps damning. Funeral eve I lay awake. Robert's aftershave on pillowcase, faint comfort. Fear flickered. Would guests side with poor son? No. Evidence trumped pity. Dawn broke clear. Black dress hung crisp, pearls grand, symbols unbroken. Reception setup hummed. Caterers arranging chafing dishes of carved ham, potato salad chilling, iced tea pitcher sweating beads. String quartet tuned softly under oaks strung with white lights. 50 guests trickled in post-graveside. Neighbors murmuring, cousin Betty dabbing eyes. Michael and Jennifer arrived last, arm in arm, him dapper in suit, her sheath dress hugging like armor. They schmoozed, collecting sympathies, positioning as dutiful heirs. I greeted soft, air-kissing cheeks, their tension electric, perfume cloying, his grip too tight on my elbow. Michael's toast shattered, calm. Glass raised, voice booming. Mom's attic room's ready, cozy, safe. Gasps rippled. Helen's eyebrow arched. My polite demurral, then his envelope thrust. Sign now. Crowd hushed, forks paused midair. Betty whispered, audacity. Time slowed as I stepped to bandstand, chord humming in palm. Michael's lunge halted at Jennifer's tug. Confusion creased his brow. Everyone, I began, voice carrying like classroom roll call. Michael's generosity hides truth. Robert planned wisely. First bomb. I held trust copy aloft. Irrevocable since 2015, me sole trustee. Forged changes post-death? Invalid. Murmurs swelled. Michael's scoff. She's confused, folks. Dementia. Helen stood sharp. As her doctor friend nonsense, she's sharper than most. Second. Phone audio cued, my flip blasting his kitchen admission. Reverse mortgage cashes $800,000 once was in. Jennifer's laugh tinny. Attic seals concerned son. Guests recoiled, Betty gasped. My china in their trash. Third layer peeled. Bank logs projected via Lisa's tablet on easel. Beneficiary flips, $150,000 siphoned. Forgery, I said steady. Your dealership debts, Michael's boat, repossessed yesterday. His face ashen, suit suddenly baggy. Jennifer whimpered. Misunderstanding. Fourth, email scrolled, her gaslight jewelry confusion. Dementia plot. Your timeline word for word. Captain Ruiz nodded from back. Officers flanked doors. Michael lunged, verbal. Lies. She's unfit. But evidence avalanche buried him. I faced crowd, voice steel soft. 45 years Robert and I built this. Not for greed. Tears pricked. Not weakness, fury refined. Sign? No. Justice. Ruiz approached. Mr. Hayes, warrants for fraud, elder abuse. Cuffs clicked. Jennifer sobbed, collapsing into chair. Guests applauded, slow building thunder. Betty hugged me fierce. Michael dragged past, eyes wild. Mom, please. Call me trustee, I replied cool. Garden cleared, electric, air thick with whispers. Lisa squeezed hand. Proud. Helen beamed. Masterclass. I stood amid folding chairs, Robert's Oaks whispering approval. Heart ached. Not victory pure but reckoning earned. What would you say to betrayers in public pyre? Powerfully seized, but storms I passed. Aftermath beckoned. The garden hung in stunned silence after the cuffs snapped on Michael's wrists, the metallic click echoing louder than the quartet's abandoned strings. Captain Ruiz murmured into his radio, officers guiding him toward the side gate where squad cars idled discreet, blue lights off to spare further spectacle. Jennifer collapsed into a wicker chair, mascara rivers down her cheeks, hands clawing her sheathed dress like it could anchor her. This can't be happening, she wailed, voice cracking high and raw. Guests shifted, some averting eyes, others murmuring fierce approval. Cousin Betty's good riddance cutting sharp. I stood firm by the bandstand, microphone cord limp in my fist, pulse steady as Robert's old metronome. 45 years of marriage, 30 grating tough essays. Nothing broke composure now. Michael twisted in Ruiz's grip, suit jacket rumpling, face purpled blotches. Mom! Eleanor! Call them off. Family talks this out. Spit flecked his lips. Desperation stripped the salesman polish. Jennifer lunged up, stumbling heels sinking in grass, clutching my arm. Please, for the boys. We were protecting you. Her nails dug half-moons into my skin, perfume souring to sweat. I pried free, gentle but iron, meeting her eyes, hollow now, stripped bare. Protecting? From what? My own home. Lisa flanked me, tablet clutched like shield. Helen nodded from the crowd, her affidavit weight unspoken. Piece by damning piece, I laid it bare for maximum shatter. Held high the first trust page, corners crisp from fresh print. Robert's 2015 irrevocable, me sole trustee, clawback triples fraud damages. Your post-death codicil? Ink doesn't lie, Michael. Your looping Y dated ICU. Gasp swelled. Neighbor Tom whistled low. Michael's denial barked. Planted. She's senile, check her records. Helen countered swift, voice carrying doctor authority. Sham certs debunked. Eleanor's cognition peaks at 98th percentile. My eval notarized. She waved her folder. Guests leaned in, phones discreetly filming. Next bomb. My flip phone, volume cranked, blasting kitchen audio. Their voices filled the yard, Michael's low chuckle. Poen reverse mortgage cashes $800K. Attic sells the sun angle. Jennifer's tinny giggle. Cozy for mom mansion hours. Fork dropped somewhere. Betty crossed arms thunderous. Heard it with my ears, a cousin muttered. Jennifer sobbed hysterical. Edited. Taken wrong. But Lisa synced tablet. Full 45-minute file scrolled timestamps. Metadata pristine. Cloud originals, she said cool. Your emails too. Gaslight jewelry confusion first. Word for word. Financial guts spilled third. Bank logs projected large on easel's white sheet. Lisa's beam steady. $150,000 siphon post-heart attack. Forged Robert Sig dealership debts funneled. Boat repossessed yesterday. Michael's eyes bulged frog-like. Business expenses. Dad approved. Ruiz shook head slow. Timestamps say ICU bed. Fraud statutes apply. Jennifer whimpered, collapsing again. We needed help. Bad investments. But exhibit after exhibit piled. Utility tampering logs, jewelry pawn list from their trash. Grand's pearls $2,500 cold value. Heirlooms, I said, soft voice threading steel. Not inventory. Emotional core struck deepest. I set Mike down, stepped close amid folding chairs, facing Michael's cuffed glare, Jennifer's puddle. What hurts deepest? Not theft, greed I could fathom. Its eyes meeting mine daily. Hugs warm while plotting my ruin. Throat tightened. Robert's oaks rustled sympathetic. I nursed you through chickenpox, Michael, fever cloths, lullabies. Jennifer, silver anniversary toast. Family forever. Lies eroded that. Crowd hushed reverent. Tears glistened Helen's cheeks. 45 years Robert and I poured house savings love. Not for attic exile. Michael broke then, shoulders slumping in Ruiz's hold. Mom, we panicked, debt snowballed. Dad's will unfair. Jennifer nodded frantic. Boys' tuition, house payments. Mercy. Gaslight final gasp. I straightened, Pearl's voice resonant. Mercy? Forgery's no accident. Elder abuse laws demand account. Turn to crowd. Dignity isn't signed away. Instincts guard it. Applause erupted, thunderous, cleansing. Betty hooped, neighbors hugged, spontaneous. Consequences cascaded swift. Ruiz read warrants measured. Michael Hayes fraud, forgery, elder financial abuse. Jennifer Hayes conspiracy. She shrieked as second officer Mirandized. Cuffs pinching her wrists, dainty turned criminal. Call lawyer. Michael Bello dragged gateward. Squad doors slammed. Engines purred away, taillights fading down our quiet lane. Garden exhaled collective. Chafing dishes cooling untouched. Iced tea warm now. Lisa hugged waist tight. You slayed, Mom. Helen pressed sherry glass my palm. Catharsis pure. But amid triumph hollow echoed. I wandered to Robert's oak, bark rough under palm. Leaves whispering judgment. Guests milled consoling, Betty fierce. Proud as punch. Tom clapped shoulder. Law's side yours. Yet gazing empty chairs where family fractured. Ache bloomed fresh. Not regret. Morning illusions shattered. Michael's boys. Innocent pawns. Lisa promise visits. Jennifer's boutique. Collapsing sands my unwitting loans. Greed's house always crumbles. Cleanup symbolic. Caterers pack silver trays dented drama. Quartet packed violin cases silent witness. I folded last program. Robert's photo smiling serene tucked in purse. Power reclaimed but scars lingered like faint bruise. Have you faced kin's knife twist? Crowd thinned hugs lingering. Sunset bled orange across lawn we planted love filled. Justice tasted bittersweet. Sherry sharp on tongue. Thomas called dusk. Charges stick. Probable cause iron. Arraignment Monday. Bail denied flight risk. Knotted mirror ward reflection wiser. Lines etched deeper victory. Lisa cooked pasta. Garlic butter wafting kitchen. And we toasted absent Robert. To traps sprung. Laughter bubbled tentative. Healing's first stitch. Night fell star-pricked. Bed welcomed heavy-lidded. Dreams mixed Robert's hand warm mine. Michael's eyes pleading. Past woven future. Yet standing firm proved anchor. Betrayal's storm passed. Resilience endured. What words would you wield at your pyre? Garden quiet now, but my voice echoed eternal. 6 months later, the dust settled into a new normal that felt like breathing fresh air after years in a stuffy attic. The courtroom in downtown Boston smelled of polished wood and stale coffee. The judge, a stern woman with silver bun, banging gavel final on Michael's sentencing. 5 years federal for forgery and elder financial abuse, plus restitution tripled under clawback clauses. Jennifer got 18 months probation, community service at a senior center, poetic twist, wiping tables for the women she plotted against. Their McMansion foreclosed, dealership shuttered. Last I heard through Thomas, she waitressed in Worcester. Boys split custody with Lisa, who flew them out summers to Seattle beaches. No contact order held ironclad. No calls, no visits, no sorry cards. Justice wasn't vengeance. It was balance restored. Financially, I thrived beyond dreams. The $2.5 million intact. Siphoned funds recovered with interest, reverse mortgage voided. Sold our colonial to a young family who marveled at the Oaks, netting clean $1.2 million after liens cleared. Bought a sunny condo overlooking Cape Cod Bay, 2 bedrooms, wide deck for morning coffee watching gulls wheel. Waves whisper like Robert's voice. No stairs, no echoes. White quartz counters gleamed under skylights, my bookshelves lined with Steinbeck and Austen. Grand's pearls safe in velvet tray. Pension flowed steady, investments Thomas managed grew quiet. Florida winters beckon next. Emotionally, the raw edges softened slow. First weeks post-funeral I'd wake sweat damp, replaying Michael's cuffed glare, Jennifer's sobs. Nights in the big bed alone amplified grief double. Robert's absence layered with betrayal's sting. Therapy helped, Helen recommending Dr. Patel. Soft-spoken shrink with chai-scented office. Betrayal rewires trust, she'd say, as I unpacked nursing Michael through fevers, only for him to forge my ruin. Journaling poured it out, pages thick with why. Morphing to enough. Walks on the beach built resilience, sand gritty under bare feet, salt wind scouring old wounds. Lisa visited monthly, her hugs anchors. We'd bake Robert's shortbread, buttery crumbs evoking Sundays safe. New life bloomed vibrant. Volunteered at the senior center. Irony sweet. Teaching memoir writing to widows like me. Sharing trust your gut. Document everything. One lady, Margaret, echoed my tale. Son-in-law siphoning social security. We formed a circle, fierce and laughing, swapping war stories over tea. Bridge club revived. Betty crowing my mic drop at every hand. Dated once. A widower named Frank, gentle golfer, but heart stayed Roberts. Traveled light. Trained to NYC for Broadway. Matilda musical stirring tears of joy. Strength emerged not despite age but through it. 68 wiser lines mapping battles won. Antagonists faded footnotes. Michael penned one letter from county jail, smudged pencil. Regret everything. Forgive. Shredded unread past Dear Mom. Jennifer's boutique collapsed. Rumors she couch surfed. Boys thrived with Lisa. Photos arrived filtered, gap-toothed grins at soccer games. No glee in their fall, just quiet nod. Actions ripple. Thomas updated quarterly. Civil suits yielded $450,000 penalties. Bankruptcy sealed their chapter. Reflecting from my deck now, sunset painting bay gold, I see clearest lesson. Wisdom's your sharpest weapon. They underestimated a teacher's patience, a wife's loyalty, a mother's steel. Ladies over 45 watching, your home, savings, dignity? Guard fierce. Instincts whisper truth. Paper trails prove it. Robert smiles from the mantel, pipe in teeth. His trust endured because I did. If you've battled family greed, you're not alone, stronger for scars. Share below what protected you. Hit like if Eleanor stand inspired. Subscribe for more triumphs. Comment your story. Where are you watching from? Your voices fuel this channel. God bless, stay vigilant. Love endures when boundaries hold.